stem cells? Stem cells are the body's raw materials, cells from which all other cells with specialized functions are generated. Under the right condition in the body or a laboratory, stem cells divide to form more cells called daughter cells. These daughter cells become either new stem cells or specialized cells with a more specific function, such as blood cells, brain cells, heart muscle cells, or bone cells. No other cell in the body has the natural ability to generate new cell types. Where do stem cells come from? There are several sources of stem cells. First of all, embryonic stem cells. These stem cells come from embryos that are 3 to 5 days old. At this stage, an embryo is called a blastocyst and has about 150 cells. These are pluripotent stem cells, meaning they can divide into more stem cells or can become any type of cell in the body. This versatility allows embryonic stem cells to be used to regenerate or repair diseased tissue or organs. Okay, next is adult stem cells. These stem cells are found in small numbers in most adult tissues such as bone marrow or fat. Compared with embryonic stem cells, adult stem cells have a more limited ability to give rise to various cells of the body. Lastly is perinatal stem cells. Researchers have discovered stem cells in amniotic fluid as well as umbilical cord blood. These stem cells have the ability to change into specialized cells.
Next, how do these stem cells work? For embryonic stem cells, since it came from early stage of embryo, it can be used for in vitro fertilization (IVF), which is a fertility treatment to achieve pregnancy. Then, therapeutic cloning is a technique which the process is replace the nucleus that contain genetic material from one and inject it into the egg of another person. However, researchers haven't been able to successfully perform this therapeutic cloning. Next, for adult stem cells are for our brain repair kits, which these undifferentiated cells will divide and become specialized to repair or replace the surrounding differentiated cell. For example, doctors have used adult stem cells to perform stem cell transplant, also known as bone marrow transplant. In this stem cell transplant, usually used to treat people with cancer as they replace the cell damaged by chemotherapy to destroy cancer cells.
Next is stem cell from corpse. Cell from corpse might play a key role in developing future stem cell therapies, which is successfully reprogramming induced pluripotent stem cells so they behave like the cells they are meant to replace, means that samples of the mimic cells must be present for comparison. Cadavers can provide brain, heart, and other tissues for study that researchers cannot safely obtain from living people. So now, let's see the benefits of stem cells from corpse. The first one is the researchers found fibroblasts that were taken from the brain lining or dura mater grow 60 times successfully than those from the scalp. Second, scalp cells grew more rapidly than dura mater cells. Therefore, the skin is constantly renewing while the turnover in dura mater is much slower.
So there's a lot of disadvantages of the stem cell. Firstly, you have low blood cells count after a stem cell transplant. A low white blood cell count, neutropenia or leukopenia, increases the risk for infection. So let's say you're trying to revive a corpse, and the corpse that you're trying to revive will have low white blood cell count. That will make the infection risk of infection increases. So there's no use for you to revive the dead person again, because it will have health issues and then it will die again. Secondly, a drawback of most adult stem cells is that they are per-specialized. For example, blood stem cells makes only blood cells, and brain stem cells make only brain cells. So let's say there's some body part that you want to revive, you need a very specific stem cells for it, and it is very hard to find. And thirdly, inappropriate stem cell migration and neurological complication. The drawback is that the corpse that receive the stem cell transplant, it may be at risk of experiencing neurological complications owing to stem cell migration from the graft site to inappropriate regions of the brain. So the corpse will have a big reason to die if it will revive. So there's actually no use to do the stem cell migration to the corpse itself. So, in conclusion, should you do the stem cell transplant to bring back your loved one back to life? In my opinion, I would say no. This is because the chances are low to none, say the expert. And organs such as the heart and kidneys have never been successfully frozen and thawed, and it is even less likely a whole body and the brain could be without irreversible damage to the organs. Also, it is very costly despite the chances that it's very low, and it will take super long time. So let's say you're trying to revive a dead person, you might be dead at the time also. So it is a big no for me.